This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we did our installation part was over. It is we'll run this execution script so that it will get over. As a root user, I have to do it. Otherwise, it will throw error. So done. Now just click OK. Installation is over. So we should know that.
I don't see your screen. Yeah. Okay. So we have run the configuration scripts. Now we can create the database. Okay. So creation of database can be of three types. That is, one is using OUI, second one is using DBCA, third one is manually creating database. Okay. So we'll try to use DBCA first. I have to give Exos Plus. Now I should go to Oracle Home, that is /U01 app Oracle product 12.1.0/db_1/bin. We'll go /dbca. Okay. So we'll create using DBCA, we are creating the database. The other database will be creating manually as well. So create database, click next. What is the database name you want to give? So for example, DB1, and as I said in the last class, the two types of storage is available. One is ASM, the other one is file system. So file system I choose. Next one is Oracle Oradata, that is where the files are being stored, like under all your control files, data files and redo log files are stored under this location under Oradata. And under fast recovery area, all our files like our backups, archive logs, everything will be stored here. Then we have the database character set, which we have to choose the universal character set. Fine. So now here you give the password. So I have given a password. If you here only we are deciding whether 12C CDB we are creating on or non-CDB. Okay. So now we'll create a non-CDB because we want to learn the basic tasks. Then we'll go to CDB. So click next. Okay. So DB2 I'll give. Click finish. So in the meantime, we'll try to create manually creating database. How to do? There is we need two files for this. So one is create script. Another one is you want the create script here. Second one is you want the P file. Okay. So P file means parameter file. Okay. So parameter file, which is the location normally $oracle_home/dbs. So this is the location, and here you have the file called init db2.ora. Okay. So my file default name should be like this, but any name I can give. But when you give init with sid.ora only, you can identify that it is a P file. Fine. So this is how we used to create. And the create script. Create script means like we have to specify the location of data files and read log files. Fine. So this is how the manually creating database we have. Now we'll create it. So using DBC also it's getting created. So this is our bash profile. Which is used to store our environment variables. Fine. So I'll go as Oracle user. This is my present working directory, that is /home/oracle. You have bi.bash _ profile. So here I have this one. So what I'll do, I'm going to remove this. I'll create a new one. Okay. So here Oracle host name I should change. My host name is Aura 18c. Fine. So I'll give Aura 18c.local domain here. Then here Oracle unique name and all not required because so many databases I'll be creating, so that I don't require. Now Oracle home I'll give. So Oracle home as usual, Oracle base /product. Oracle base means what? Here you have U01 app Oracle, then product, then 12.1.0. So this is my location. 12.1.0. This is the location where I have installed my Oracle software. Fine. So this is how Oracle home I have to install. Then Oracle SID not required. Just run the bash profile. Now all my environment variables like Oracle home or Oracle base, everything would have been set. I can check using this command echo $oracle home. So here it shows. Fine. So now manually I want to do my DBCA, that is creation of a database I want to create. So for that I need a P file. So P file I'll bring. I'll keep under, since I am manually creating, I can keep my files anywhere. My P file normally would be under Oracle home /DBS only. Fine. But Oracle home /DBS only normally the default location is. But since manually I'm creating, I can place my P file anywhere. So for example, U01 app Oracle under admin also I can create. So I'll go here. I'll go to U01 app Oracle admin. So vi init db3.ora. So here under Ora data, I'm keeping the files and compatible is 12c, so 12.1.0.
So under Varadata, I have to create a directory called db3, and under admin also I should create a directory called db3. Fine. So that I can keep my p file there. Okay. So under admin, the other things are same. That is audit file test means under Oracle base, we are creating a directory called ADUM, and audit trail. Audit trail is what my database, whether we are going to do audit level, the DB level or OS level. Fine. Compatible is that version 12.1.0. Then control files, 2 copies I'm keeping. So one under Varadata, the same, since I'm manually creating for training purpose, I have kept at the same location. Fine. Then DB block size is 8K. Then DB name is DB3. Then DB recovery file test. That is what I said. My archive logs and my backup will be stored here. Then size is 2G. Then diagnostic test is under ADUM. Diagnostic test means what? All your alert logs, your diagnostic files, everything will be here. Fine. So this is how we used to start. One minute. Wait 1 minute, I'll be back.
This conference will now be recorded.
So we have our P file like this. Fine. So first thing what I'll do is I'll create a directory under admin called db3. Okay. And since I have created my init db3.ora under admin, I'm just moving it inside the directory db3. Okay. So I'll just move this inside db3. So now it is under db3. Yeah, my P file is here. Now my create script, I have to give the location of the create script. Before that, I'll create a directory under Varadata. See, I am here under here. That is under U01 app Oracle admin. I am db3 under here. I want to move it under Varadata. So what I'll do, cd double dot. So two paths earlier I'm going, previously I'm going. Okay. So now you check here, you have Varadata here. You can see, you can create the directory called db3 here. Fine. So this is the place where all your control files, data files and redo log files are going to be kept. Okay, all the database files are going to be kept under this location. Fine. So now what we'll do, we'll create a create script will do. So I'll go and keep under admin. Okay, under admin db3. See, under admin I'm creating a directory called db3, and under db3 I'm keeping two files. One is init db3.ora, another one is create script. Okay, create script name I am going to keep is db3.sql. This is the create script. Fine. So P file is this one, init db3.ora is the P file. So these two files I'm going to keep under this path called under admin. So before that, I have created a directory under U01 app Oracle Oradata. I have created the directory. Fine. So this is the place where my DB files are going to reside. My DB files will sit here. Fine. So this is how it will work. Now we'll see this P file and create script. We'll create now. Now I'll type the create script. Fine. So create script. So our create script will tell where these locations of the data files, everything are present. Fine. So create database db3, then just data file, which is the path, that is system file will be created here, then sysocs data file, then you have your log file. Log file means your redo log files. Fine. So redo log files, you have two groups, minimum two groups you can create. Okay. Under voradata /db3, you can create log1.log. This is the first group, and you can create log2.log as well. Fine. So then we'll create the undo table space. So like this, we used to create the database. Fine. So now I have both ready. My P file is ready and my create script is ready. Now export. I'll clear the screen. Export Oracle underscore SID is equal to DB3. Fine. So SQL plus, as usual, SQL plus /s sysdba. Now startup. You have to give, because we didn't create SP file still. First we are creating the database, that too manually we are creating. Fine. So that's why we have to give startup, then P file is equal to, you should give that path where my init db3.ora is there. Fine. So app oracle admin db3/init db3.ora. So like this, I'll start my P file. So diagnostic test, it is throwing error that adump is not there. So we'll go and check that whether adump directory is not there. So here the database db2 using dbca has been created. Just close this. So now we'll go to u01 app oracle admin /db3. That is, it throws error that it is not there, that adump directory is not there. So I'm going under admin. Here I'm checking under. So adump directory is not there. So I'll create a directory called adump. Fine. So now we'll check. Now we'll give the same command. So we should know to how troubleshoot also. Otherwise, it's very hard. Because see, startup P file is equal to I have given, but I should have given startup no mount P file. I should have given. That is the error it is throwing. Okay. See, startup P file is equal to, that path is there. Here I should have given no mount. First I have to shut down, shut immediate. So we should know what are all the errors it throws and how to troubleshoot each and everything. So if I don't give no mount, while you are creating the database for the first time, it will throw error like this only. So what you have to do now, you have to shut down and then you have to give the same command, that is startup P file is equal to that path. Along with that, no mount you should give, so that only your SGA will be created and your background processes will be created. Fine. So now we will open the database. For that, we need to come to the mount stage, that is the control file should have been created and the other data files, redo log files should have been created, right? So for that we have to run the create script. So using the p file, you'll be able to start the database in the no mount stage. Your background processes would have been created and your SGA would have been allocated. That's it. But if you want to go to the other stages, if you want your control file and data files, redo log files and all to be created, you have to run that create script. Fine. So let me check under which directory now I am in. Now I am here only. So directly I can give that path, that is db3.sql. So it should say that database created, means control file would have been created. Control file, data files, read log files, everything would have been created because we have given the locations and the corresponding directories also we have created. Fine. So now the database is created. Now I can check, select name comma open underscore mode from v dollar database. So now our database has been created, db3 in read write mode. Fine. So manually also we have created one database using dbc also we have created one database. So do you have any doubts till now, Slim and Maurice?
So far it's okay, just to revise it.
Okay, fine. So now we'll see what are all the data dictionary views available. Fine. So what do you mean by this? See, data dictionary views or the views which is available in two types, two categories. One is v dollar views, another one is dba underscore all underscore and user underscore. So like this we have the views. So v dollar views we saw just now, that is v dollar database, right? So we'll see v dollar views. What are all the v dollar views? We have v dollar database, v dollar data file, v dollar control file, v dollar log and v dollar log file. Okay, v dollar table space is there. So like this we have various data dictionary views. So these views show us the metadata. Metadata means details about the database. Metadata of the database is being used here. So v dollar views. Next one is dba underscore. So dba underscore means as a sysdba I should have got connected. Fine. See, as a sysdba I should have connected. All underscore views means I can view other users views as well. Okay, other users views I can view. Similarly, user underscore. So user underscore views I can use as a local user. That is, I have got connected as a local user. I can use this. Fine. So this is how the data dictionary views are being used. We'll see one by one. So first one, describe v dollar data file. Okay. So data file means about the data file I want to find out what are all the metadata about it. Like what is the container ID, how many bytes has been created, and what is the name of the data file and which location it is stored. So like this, how many bytes does it occupy, what is the file number, under which table space it is stored. So all these things I can using this $v database, $v data file I can check it. Okay, so see, select name comma status from $v data file I'll get. Okay, see, status is online, everything is online. What are all the data files? System, sysocks and undo. Okay, normally by default these will be the data files available in the database. Fine, so these are the data files available inside the database, so we call these as system, sysocks, undo, right? So this is what this data dictionary view called $v data file is used. Fine, so now we'll check describe $v table space. So I want to check select table space number comma name from $v table space. Okay, so table space number is 0, 1, 2. Normally system will be given 0 table space number, then sysocks undo, like this it will go. Fine, so this is how it works. So similarly I can check $v control file. So if I want to find out what is the location of the control files, I can very well use this select name from $v control file. Fine, so if I want to check, that is describe $v log, means I want to check about the whole redo log groups, means I can check this. So select group number comma group number comma members from $v log. So in each group I have totally 2 groups, and each group I have 1 member. Like this you'll get the $v log. Similarly $v log file, so I can check select group number comma member from $v log file. Okay, so this is a, see, first group you have one member, and second group you have the other member. Like this we used to have there is control file, redo log file and data file. Okay, so $v database as well. $v database means if I want to check my database is in archive mode or not. Okay, I can check select, I'll clear the screen. So select log underscore mode from $v database. So it is a no archive log. Fine, so this is how we used to do. These are the data dictionary views. This is how we used to check. Fine, so this db underscore all underscore user underscore and all, while we create the user, then we should know how to use those views, we can understand. Now we'll learn how to change my database from no archive to archive. So we will shut down the database. So to change our database from no archive to archive and vice versa, you have to either, you can check using 2 modes, you can check. Okay, 2 modes to check the archive. So select log underscore mode from $v database
Second one, you can check archive log list. So two methods are there to check. So now I'll start my database in startup mount. Okay. Since I have created manually, I have not created my SP file. Fine. So I'll start up my database using P file now. So just I'll start my database using P file, and then I'll create the SP file. Using SP file, now I'll start the database. Create SP file from P file is equal to, I should give what location? U01 app Oracle product Oracle admin db3 init db3.ora. Okay, so now I can shut down my database, and using SP file I'm going to start my database. Fine. So what all we have seen today? Using DBCA we have created a database, and manually we have created one database. So manually, while we created the database, we had to create two files. One is P file, that is init db3.ora. Second one is the create script. Fine. So these two files, using these two files, we created the database. How we created? Export oracle underscore SID is equal to, what is the SID name? Then SQL plus /sysdba, then startup no mount P file is equal to that path, the whole path you give, where you have your init db3.ora. Fine. So now what we did, we just gave startup no mount P file is equal to that path. So your database would come to the no mount stage. After that, we have to run that create script so that it would come to the mount stage and then open stage. Fine. So now my database is in open stage. So, but still I have started the database using P file only. Now what I have to do, I have to create an SP file, and then using the SP file I can start up my database as usual. So for that I'll clear the screen now. So using SP file I'll start up. So just give startup, that's it. So now using SP file I have started the database. See, I have not given the P file path, right? So it has come to the no mount, mount and open. So now what I'll do, I'll just check select name comma open underscore mode from v dollar database. So now it is in read write mode. Fine. So this is how we have to start up using P file. Now I'll check whether my database is in archive or no archive. So select log underscore mode from v dollar database. So it's in no archive. So what I'll do, I'll shut immediate, I'll give. The next class we'll see what are all the shutdown modes, startup modes and so on. So startup mount I'll give. Now we have to give in startup mount you should give alter database archive log. So like this only you have to change. Okay, either you have to change like this or no archive log, single one, no archive log. Fine. So like this we can change. Now I'll change to archive, alter database archive log. Now I'll check now.
archive log list. See, now it is in archive mode. And what is this DB recovery file test? The fast recovery area. While we created the database, this would have been taken as that fast recovery area. So if you want to see any parameter, just you give like this. Show parameter DB recovery file test. DB recovery file test. So your fast recovery area only will be this. And by default, it is 2G size it will take. Fine. So this is how we used to start our database. Now we'll open the database. We'll check what is the mode now. See, select name comma open underscore mode from $v database. Okay, so it's in mount stage. So alter database open. So show the same thing. Select name comma open underscore mode you get from $v database. Fine. So now we know now that we have created two databases. Fine. We'll check it. How we'll check? /etc/ora tab. Ora tab. It will contain DB1, 2. DB3 won't be there because DB3 manually we created. So we have to go and put an entry here. Fine. So this is how it has been. We are using it. And the next one is we'll see about Oracle network environment. So what do you mean by that? See, Oracle network environment. You have your server and your client, isn't it? See, you have your server and here you have your client. Fine. So whenever the client is requesting any purpose, any request it's giving. So for example, it want to insert the records. So client means using SQL developer or SQL plus anything. Okay, your client is this side and server is this one. So whatever the request I'm giving, the client is giving to the server should be in a position to attend the request. Fine. So it should be able to successfully complete the request demanded by the client, right? So here what we have two files here available. One is listener, the other one is TNS. Okay, so one is listener.ora, one file is there, the other one is TNS. Fine. So this listener file you can imagine like our ears. Okay, our ears are waiting for some noise to be heard, isn't it? Then only our brain will interpret and we'll find out what it is. So similarly here this listener is in the server side. It will be waiting for any request from the client, and whenever it request is being received by the server, it used to establish the connection. Okay, so listener will use to establish the connection between the server and the client, right? So now which will be the location of these two files means, so one is listener.ora, next one is TNS names.ora. Okay, so this listener.ora is at the server side and your TNS names.ora is at the client side. Okay, so which is the location of these two files means under Oracle home /network/admin. Okay, under Oracle home /network/admin we have these two files. Okay, we'll go and check it. So this is my present working directory. I'm under Oracle base. Okay, I'll go under network. Product DB_1 here only network/admin. Okay, It is Oracle home / network / admin. Okay. Oracle home is till here. Till network DB1, it is Oracle home. After that, you have your network / admin. Just list it. We don't have anything, so we have to newly form this listener and TNS. Okay. Listener.aura. So so here listener.aura, I'll just remove these lines. Address, and one more thing which should be which we have to look at is in both the listener and TNS, your address should be same. Okay, address should be same means what? Address contains 3 parts. Okay, address contains 3 parts. So one is host. Okay, address contains 3 parts. One is host, another one is protocol, third one is port number. Okay, so port number by default it will be 1521 only. Okay, port number by default it will be 1521 and protocol is TCP. By default it will be TCP. And host name, it depends, whatever the host name you have given, that host name you have to give. So whenever we want to talk with some person, he should also be knowing my language, then only I can communicate, right? He should understand what I am saying. Similarly, the address should be same in both the files. Okay, in both the files your address should be same, whatever the host name is there, protocol, port number, these 3 should be same in both the client and the server side. Fine. So we'll see what it is. See here, protocol is TCP, host name. So what is the host name? We have Oracle, Aura 18C is our host name. How will you check it? What is the host name means? See, Aura 18C dot local domain or Aura 18C you can give. So host name is Aura 18C dot local domain. Fine. So now port number is 1521. Okay. So protocol is TCP, right? Now the same thing I should have in TNS names, but the TNS names should be in the different file. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this and keep it under TNS names.aura. So here this TNS, this line I'll remove. Here we have to give what is that SID name. So SID name is DB2 and DB3 we have created, isn't it? So DB2 will give, and here protocol is TCP, host is what? Host name. So what is my host name? Aura 18c dot local domain. So this is my host name and port number is 1521. 1521. Okay. So this is how it's organized. And here we have to give service name. So this DB2. Okay. DB2 is the service name. So DB2 is there. Fine. Next one, for DB3 also we'll put an entry. If it is being created by DBCA, DBCA will put an entry like normally listener and TNS and all. Since we have created normal, manual database, we have to put an entry. And regarding this OUI, while using OUI itself, we have created, it would have put an entry. Fine. So we'll put an entry for DB3 now. So address, whatever the address in the listener we have, the same thing we have to give here. So aura 18c dot local domain. Then port number 1521. Okay. So now DB3 is the service name. That's it. Okay. So now one more thing we have to check is which were the open parentheses. The same open close parenthesis should be same. So when I keep here, it will show you. See where it is the open parenthesis for this close one. Right. So like this only we have to put an entry. So just come out. Now we should know what are all the commands of these listener and TNS. Okay. So listener and TNS commands. Listener and TNS commands. So for listener, lsnrctl, listener control. Okay, lsnrctl, start, lsnrctl, stop, lsnrctl, reload, lsnrctl, status. Okay, so these are the four commands for the listener. And for TNS, just you give TNS ping, let SID name. Okay, what is the SID? How many times you want to ping? Okay, we'll check it how it is working. See lsnrctl status first I'll check. So why it is showing command not found? Because my bash profile is not yet set. Okay, we'll check. So it should be under this directory only. My bash profile is. So we have given what is our Oracle host name and Oracle base, Oracle home as well. Now we have to run the bash profile. Okay, whenever you are giving run, like this you should give. That is dot. Then since bash profile is a hidden file, it is showing us dot. Okay. So now you echo Oracle home. Okay. So now lsnrctl status. So no listener. Okay. Listener is not yet started. Just now we have created the listener. Now only we have to start the listener. Fine. So lsnrctl start. So now I'll check my TNS ping. So to start the listener, it will take some time. So within that time, we'll check about DB2 and 3. If I give 3 times me, 3 times it will ping. Okay, like that. That is, the connection between the server and the client is okay. That is the meaning here. And similarly for, I'm pinging TNS ping, DB3 I'll ping. So it's okay. Fine. So now we'll check the listener status. So DB2 status is ready, then DB3 status is ready. Fine. So this is how we used to check the listener and TNS. So today you have learned how to create the database using DBCA manually, then how to start the database using P file as well as SP file, and then you learned what are all the data dictionary views, how to use those data dictionary views, and then the listener and TNS, that is your network environment. Fine. So the next topic we'll see in the subsequent classes. Fine. Thank you guys for attending my session.
Great session, Rani. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.